Step-by-step instructions to get paid on YouTube. Apply for the YouTube Partner Program. To acquire straightforwardly through YouTube, you should collaborate with the site. When you do, there are a few different ways to trade out, yet to turn into an accomplice you should meet the necessities. Your recordings should maintain the site's publicizing rules and have in excess of 4,000 substantial public watch hours inside the most recent a year. You should live in a qualified territory. You need more than 1,000 supporters. You need to interface a Google AdSense account. The more recordings you have, the simpler it is to arrive at the review hour's edge. Top caliber, engaging recordings are bound to get sees, so it pays to invest energy into arranging and creation. When you meet the prerequisites, you can apply by clicking into your profile and exploring to the adaptation segment. As an accomplice, you can bring in cash through promotions, participation advantages, and highlights like Super Chat, which allows watchers to pay to have their messages featured during the live stream. To get supported as an accomplice, you need to interface your channel to Google AdSense, the organization's promoting framework. Publicists use AdSense to offer for space on recordings dependent on components like your crowd, video point, and significant watchwords. As a rule, you'll be paid dependent on the quantity of impressions your recordings get, that is the point at which somebody taps on or watches an advertisement. Advertisements don't show each time somebody watches a video, however, so SEs don't make an interpretation of straightforwardly to cash in the bank. Additionally, YouTube takes a cut of the promotion income, it wouldn't unveil that rate. You'll get installments once your total scope's $100, so in the event that you have a little channel, you may get paid just like clockwork. You might need to save a portion of that money for charges since Google, which issues AdSense installments, probably won't deduct your full-duty commitment.
What sort of travel insurance do I require? There are 4 significant kinds of movement protection and, for the most part, you can buy bundles that offer these with a blend of other travel inclusion choices. Pick your travel insurance depends on what bodes well for your excursion and your own funds. On the off chance that you've been putting something aside for that $15,000 visit through Italy as your getaway that should not be taken lightly, you might not have any desire to take a risk that a family sickness will cost you your store. Outing retraction protection reimburses you when certain conditions keep you from going on your outing. For example, if your journey line or visit administrator leaves the business, or in the event that you need to drop the excursion because of infection, passing in the family, or another disaster recorded in the strategy. Moreover, in the event that you or a close relative turns out to be truly sick or is harmed during the excursion, most arrangements would repay you for the unused bit of the getaway. Try not to befuddle trip dropping protection with the wiping out a waiver that many journeys and visit administrators offer. Contrasted with protection, waivers may appear to be moderately cheap, and they do give inclusion in the event that you need to drop the excursion. Be that as it may, they incorporate numerous limitations. They by and large should be bought at the time the outing is reserved, and they will typically not cover you preceding takeoff, the time span during which a great many people drop, or after the outing has started. Above all, since waivers are not the protection, they are not controlled by state protection divisions. In the event that your visit or voyage administrator gets into monetary trouble, you will most likely be unable to gather on the waiver. Things protection or belongings inclusion provides inclusion if your own effects are lost, taken, or harmed during the excursion. Prior to buying this sort of inclusion, discover how much protection the aircraft or outing administrator accommodates your effects. Likewise, check your mortgage holders or leaseholders' strategy, which will normally give inclusion to off-premises robberies, like taken baggage. In the event that you are going with costly electronic hardware, gems, or sporting equipment, it very well may be more practical to buy a floater or support your mortgage holders or tenants' strategy that covers these things.
Figure out if a tech company on the stock market is an ethical investment. Nowadays, individuals exchanging on the financial exchange need something beyond a solid monetary return. They're progressively deciding on ventures that will likewise have a positive cultural effect. The COVID pandemic showed us even settled tech organizations can endure plunges temporarily. Apple, a tech behemoth, was left reeling when Chinese assembling centers were briefly closed down a year ago. In the more drawn-out term, nonetheless, innovation stocks stay the best option for some financial backers. Generally, they've ruled worldwide securities exchanges and keep on developing at a surprising rate. In any event, during the descending twisting of the pandemic, tech stocks, for example, Zoom and Microsoft took off in esteem as a deluge of individuals began telecommuting. How might one discover beneficial ventures without supporting exploitative movement? What is moral contributing? While moral contributing is an expansive idea, it very well may be seen essentially as putting your cash towards something that improves the world. This can go from organizations that support for basic entitlements, to those expecting to restrict the cultural pervasiveness of betting, liquor, or tobacco. Despite the fact that there is no exacting meaning of moral interest in Australia, many oversaw assets and super finances look for accreditation by the Responsible Investment Association Australasia. The moral perspective can be gathered into three general classes. Ecological - for example, growing clean innovation or participating in carbon impartial assembling. Social, like supporting inventive innovation, lessening social damages like neediness or betting, boosting sexual orientation balance, securing human and buyer rights or supporting creature government assistance. Corporate administration - for example, being hostile to debasement, advancing sound representative relations, or institutional straightforwardness. As financial backers, we should be cautious about the fine print of the organizations we put resources into. For instance, accreditation rules direct that an oversaw venture store barring organizations with critical binds to petroleum derivatives could, in any case, incorporate one that acquires up to a specific measure of income from non-renewable energy sources.